Hi, crew. Today we're going to learn about social media and how it affects you, your future job, how you even shop, and how people are this very second trying to figure out all of those things that are going on in your head. It's kind of a complex, strange mix, but sit back and I hope you learned something. There will be a quiz at the end of this lecture, so pay attention. Here we go. So basically, everything we're going to look at has got to do with social media, how we use it, how it influences us, and how it touches our everyday lives. So literally, social media, while we might not participate in it every single day, because I would bet you guys maybe have an Instagram account, you have a Snapchat, and you have maybe a TikTok, and you have a YouTube account. But you don't post content every day. You do visit content every day. And so that's why it's a powerful, powerful thing. So, of that social media world, and this is just kind of a joke, what we use social media for is different. And it also is based on demographics. So, the age of the person. So, Twitter would be I would say, 20 something through 40, 50 something person. It says, notice I am eating a donut. It's a statement. Facebook, I like donuts because in Facebook you can like things. Foursquare, this is where I eat donuts because that's definitely a social media that identifies your location. Instagram, here's a vintage photo of my donut. Very much picture oriented. YouTube, here I am eating a donut, so I'm going to film myself eating a donut and put it online. LinkedIn is my skills include donut eating because it's all about work. Pinterest is here's a donut recipe. I would bet your moms know a lot about Pinterest and recipes, or maybe even dads look for projects of things they want to do. Last FM, I'm listening to donuts, and Google Plus, I'm a Google employee who eats donuts because nobody does Google Plus. In fact, Google Plus social media is pretty much a gone, done deal. What they don't have on here is that emerging method of video quickness, which is the story of Snapchat and TikTok for you guys. I'm going to tell you right now, I have business folks that are talking about those two mediums and how they're going to use them to measure uh, your likes, dislikes, and how to engage you as far as a workforce. So, social media definitely brings change. Um, for example, basically, here's what you want to think about. In the very best situation, it's meant to bring people together, to collaborate. Social media was meant to be that social, meaning you get groups of people together in the best sort of way. That was the ideal. And those groups, those ideal groups, would share ideas and build things and create things. That it would allow people to brand, market themselves in a positive way. And lastly, it would allow sharing of information and data for profit or other. Now, this is the ideal. Now, sometimes we get the ideal and sometimes we get a skewed version of that. And I think what you have to understand is while I'm not encouraging you to do any of these things, I think awareness is the key. It's the power of understanding what what social media does for you every single day and how important it is to you. So we're going to watch a little video about the importance of social media, and I want you to pay attention to the details because some of these details will be on the quiz afterwards. Here we go. Okay, interesting. Um, did any of those facts or statistics amaze you or shock you? For example, that you spend 80% of time on your phone watching video. Shocking. That you have less attention span than a goldfish. Shocking. I don't know. Um, any of that, like how people meet each other or how much social media influences everything from your spending to where you spend your time. Um, Pretty interesting things. We will talk more soon. So I like to call social media not just word of mouth, it's world of mouth because you have the ability to create an incredible reach of things that you have to say. The problem is, what are you doing with that? Are you just sharing what you ate for breakfast or making something silly or non consequential? What are you doing with the power of your voice? That's the question because most people aren't using it very wisely. It's more of a, I think this is funny, and my 12 friends will think it's funny too. Um, Mistake number one. So, what you have to understand is that if you really want to have power or you want to gain a social group that you can build things with, you have to see it as more than here are my 12 friends. They will think this is funny. You have to create an authentic outreach, and that's called branding. Here are some of those statistics that were on that video. 50% of our world population is 30 or younger. That means that social that 50% of our entire population has never known a world without the internet. So where do we turn to for learning, information, influence? It's much different than somebody like your parents who had a different background growing up. Mobile devices equate for 50% of e-commerce, meaning of all the shopping that's done online, right now, 50% of that shopping is done on phones. So your phone is a powerful device. If I have a website and it's not designed um, for mobile phone use, what does that mean for my business? 93% of consumers trust what peer reviews have to say about products or brands. 93% of us look at what authentic, hopefully you know the difference, authentic reviews are that people write about products. Have you? Have you read what other people have to say about something before you buy it? And why? Why do you trust that more than other things? Good question. By 2020, actually now, 80% of mobile use will be tied to video. That's huge. And the reason it is because that's your generation. If I want to access you, if I want to hire you for jobs, if I want to get your business, how important is the video I produce by my company for those tools? Pretty important, isn't it? We call that return on investment, ROI. If you ever see somebody talking about their ROI, return on investment, um, which we will discuss with you tomorrow, that's what they're talking about. If I gave you $500 to use as an advertising budget, how should you spend that to be efficient? Because that's going to be my question at the beginning of the hour tomorrow. If I give you $500, how should you spend that to get the most business and the most engaged business? That's a good question. That's your question tomorrow. So, at the best, social media is meant to be digital meeting houses. We're supposed to use all of these social media platforms to kind of get together as people and meet other people, people who are like us. We're supposed to produce content that we're all interested in. But if you think about it, is that what we do with them? Or are we simply consumers, or we are simply someone who's trying to appeal to a small gathering rather than a big platform? Because ideally, it's supposed to be a big platform. So we're going to talk about that social media product. Because I've always talked to you about not just being a consumer, but being a producer. But what is a social media influencer? Let's find out.
Selena Gomez promoting Coach handbags to her 146 million Instagram followers. Kim Kardashian has pushed everything from perfume to vitamins and even luxury brand Fendi. Little sis Kylie Jenner is in on the action too, seen here hawking her makeup palette on YouTube.
I made this the perfect palette.
And now, even your next door neighbor could be cashing in on the big business of being an influencer. 27-year-old Marial Marrero
I don't need more swimsuits in my life.
is a beauty and lifestyle social media influencer, paid by companies like Maybelline
So many great tips from them too.
and Estee Lauder to promote their products on her social media.
Honestly, I can't believe this is me. I can't believe this could be in stores.
She has more than 5 million Instagram followers and over 15 million subscribers on her 3 YouTube channels. A native of Venezuela, she launched her first YouTube channel 9 years ago on a whim.
I was in college in Venezuela, and I decided I wanted to post my first YouTube video.
What were you studying?
Biology.
Oh, well, okay.
I know. It's very weird, but I've always loved makeup. And in biology, there weren't a lot of people that liked makeup that I could meet in school. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go make a video, post it online, and find people that like the same things that I like. It has a little screen, so I flip it, and I just sit and talk.
We visited Marielle at her home in Los Angeles that doubles as her studio. What do you roughly get paid per post, and what is the most you've gotten paid for something?
I wouldn't be able to give you an exact number, but
Ballpark?
I have a college degree. My husband has a college degree. He has an MBA, and we chose to do this. So you can make a good living from it.
This is Gordo, my goodness. Marielle and her husband Gordo first moved to the U.S. so he could attend grad school.
And he went to business school. I was home alone. So I was like, I'm going to start an English one. I need to talk to somebody. So I was like, I'll talk to the camera.
The YouTube videos were kind of like an outlet for you to practice your English?
Yeah, I was like, I have no friends, so I'm just going to find some online.
Did it work out?
I think it has. Just a few million.
There are so many, especially young women, trying to be influencers. What makes your account unique?
I ask myself that all the time. I'm like, why do you follow me? I'm just me being silly. I don't feel like there's anything special about me. Why? And I mess up and I show them that I'm not perfect. I'm not like, oh, you know?
Yeah.
But sometimes I feel like that's why people follow me, because I'm me. I'm real.
Today, it seems like everyone is in a battle for the most clicks, because a big social media following can mean big money.
The very first hurdle to becoming an influencer is hitting 10,000 followers. But you're a certified influencer, if you will, at around 100,000.
It's currently 6 a.m. 17-year-old mega vlogger Emma Chamberlain was a typical teen from the Bay Area when she took YouTube by storm just 2 years ago.
Right now, we are driving around the DMV,
posting videos like this one.
For my freaking test.
She's now signed with a major Hollywood agency and partnering with teen fashion chain Hollister.
Hey everyone, I am Jasmine Brown.
Jasmine Brown began working with major brands like Walmart and Lady Foot Locker after being noticed for her fashion and beauty videos. And Sandy Ball launched into online stardom with her unique nail polish designs, now working with Sephora and Mattel.
Really big YouTubers and Instagram stars, they have agents, just like Hollywood. They have managers, they have publicists, because the best people are making tens of millions of dollars a year.
And it's not just fashion and beauty industry influencers who are cashing in. Take Dr. Mike Varshavsky, who promotes his healthy and germ-free lifestyle on his Instagram page. And teacher Kayla Delser promotes the latest educational technology on her Top Dog Teaching social media pages.
When you follow an influencer, you're not just following for the content that she posts, you're following her for her opinion. These are her 10 favorite products. Well, these are also your 10 favorite products.
There's also a dark side of online influencing. Take the large number of fake accounts that some influencers have following them.
It's a shortcut that plenty of people are tempted to take, and so they're tempted to do it, but it's always a bad idea.
A recent report reveals companies paid out $744 million to Instagram influencers last year alone. But $102 million of that money, meant to reach legitimate followers, was actually spent on fake accounts.
The whole point of being an influencer is that you have influence. If everyone following you is not a real person, you don't have any influence. You just have a bunch of followers.
And buyers of social media, beware.
Being a fitness influencer is my full-time job.
Fans of social media fitness guru Brittany Dawn accuse her of charging hundreds of dollars for her 60-day fitness and nutrition plans, some say without delivering on her promise.
And we never got anything back other than just, oh girl, you're doing so great. But I'm like, how am I doing great? So I'm not losing weight.
Brittany Dawn posting an apology on her YouTube channel.
And I make mistakes. And that's what this video is here to do, to address it, to say that I am sorry.
But Marielle says the key to success is staying true to herself and working hard.
I always wanted to do something where I could have freedom and be creative. So in a way, this is perfect for me. It's what I wanted to do.
I mean, you're getting paid to be yourself.
Yeah.
That's a dream job.
It truly is.
For Nightline, I'm Romina Puga in Los Angeles.
Okay,
Hi
sorry
everyone,
guys
George
that we're
Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for
lagging
checking
a
out the
little
ABC
bit.
News.
Hang on. We just had a little bit of lag. There we go.
More and more followers of fashion appear to be under.
Let's try again.
Selena Gomez.
More and more followers of fashion appear to be under the influence of a new breed of opinion maker. And big fashion houses are taking note. Alina Cho is charting the trend. At this year's Oscar de la Renta fashion show, actress Dakota Fanning sat front row. So did Anna Wintour, Vogue magazine's indomitable editor-in-chief. But sitting just across the runway from Wintour, Tina Craig, part of a growing army of social media stars known as influencers. What do you do?
What I do is, I basically am just your friend next door.
Your girlfriend.
I'm a girlfriend, but I have this access that you want.
Access she's earned by amassing a huge online following where she's known as Bag Snob. What makes Tina Craig front row fashion royalty? Her candid, make or break handbag reviews.
If I love something, I love it. If I don't, I tell you exactly why.
You know, I think they don't call them influencers for nothing.
Alex Bolin is the chief executive of Oscar de la Renta.
It would not be an exaggeration to say that our handbag business has taken off through our engagement with the influencer community. Our production has doubled. Doubled.
Tina Craig is part of the new fashion establishment. Internet celebrities who get paid, that's right, paid, for showing off what they wear and how they live. Craig and Brian Yambao, known to his fans as Brian Boy, were among the first influencers. Brian Boy is also among the most outrageous.
Today's Casual Friday. As you can see, I'm very casual. It took time to get validation. You know, it was hard for me to get into the shows. I would often get rejected by houses when I would request them.
Now, Brian Boy sits front and center. He got his first big break in 2008 when designer Marc Jacobs created this Brian Boy handbag.
He emailed me and said, Brian, I'm going to name a bag after your honor.
What
And,
did you think?
I cried.
What started with Marc Jacobs is now a full-time, richly rewarding career.
I work with Gucci, I work with Prada, I work with Calvin Klein.
Is it safe to say high six figures?
It's 6 figures, yes.
Glamorous and cozy?
And designer Michael Kors says they're not just peddling influence, they've become role models.
It harkens back to the days of, back in old Hollywood when there were screen magazines and people would look at them and say, oh, well, I have dark hair, I want to look like Ava Gardner. I think that influencers are that today.
Not everyone agrees.
These people aren't evil, they're not bad people, and many of them are talented as stylists or photographers, but
Jay Fielden, editor-in-chief of Esquire magazine, calls influencers paid promoters and says they lack the credibility, depth, and values of mainstream journalists.
they don't even know what a standard is. And I know this is a very negative view, but it's because I believe so wholeheartedly in what it is that magazines have represented culturally in America and what they still do.
So what is it that they do that influencers do not?
They tell stories.
I usually love sparkly backdrops because.
But influencers argue they too tell stories.
Before I put my foundation on.
Beauty influencer Desi Perkins.
Mm.
Perkins started as a freelance makeup artist. 5 years ago, she casually began posting makeup tutorials on YouTube. The videos went viral. She's so popular, she now has an agent.
Ladies and gents, this is where all the magic happens.
And has turned an extra bedroom into a makeshift Hollywood studio.
Before, if you wanted to get your foot in the door somewhere, you had to know somebody. We have this screen right here. And now you're at home with the camera.
Estee Lauder, the beauty behemoth, took notice. They've paid Perkins to appear in videos and promote products on Instagram. You could call executive John Dempsey a satisfied customer.
People show the money when they see the results. And there's no question that you and people like you are the new media stars.
You're going to make me cry here on camera?
Is it safe to say 30% of your ad budget goes toward it? 50%?
You're in the zone.
Influencers are now so plentiful and powerful that the federal government has begun requiring them to clearly identify who's picking up the tab. But Desi Perkins insists her views are not for sale.
I always have them send me product so that I can try it out before I say yes to the partnership, because if I hate something, I'm not going to tell people I love something.
Maybe, maybe not. You decide. Whatever the case, Adweek magazine says by the end of the decade, influencer marketing will be a $10 billion industry.
$10 billion.
You have big dreams. What are they?
I want to have an empire. I want to find the next step of creating something big for myself.
Okay, $10 billion. That's a lot by the end of the decade. So how much money are they influencing now? Right now, we are a $1 billion industry. For every, and I'll talk about this in a little bit, for every dollar or $1.50 that an influencer spends or is an investment, is an influencer, the industry is making $6.50. It's a good investment for them. So they're using people in a financially affordable way to promote their products. So why and how? I want you to think to yourself for a minute. Have you watched a video where someone promoted a product? And if so, why did you watch? So I thought I'd show you this. This is Alex Romo, and I actually know Alex. Alex is the nephew of a good friend of mine here in town. And he actually, when he was a kid and he would come visit, he would come over and play with my son. So here's what Alex is doing. Alex went to college where he majored in business and he played golf. Okay, so when he got out of school, he tried to be a golf pro unsuccessfully. I mean, he was a good golfer, but he just didn't have the chops to make it. But he still played a lot of golf and he traveled around with his friends. And so he's about 27, 28 years old right now. So what is Alex doing for a living? He is an influencer. He is a lifestyle influencer. So he promotes fitness, how you spend your time, and he creates kind of what I call the Southern California look. If you notice, he's got kind of long hair, it's blonde. He looks like he spends a lot of time on the beach. You know, he's promoting a lifestyle. And he spends, and I'm not exaggerating, between 14 and 18 hours a day doing this. So he is constantly making videos, posting to his Instagram, and creating lifestyle-like videos. So I wanted to show you what I meant by that. What do you mean by lifestyle? So here's his Instagram. And as you can see, he's got lots of stuff on it. Actually, this is his last video that he put up, going to bed before tea time. So in other words, you know, he's kind of living this kind of party life. Now he's going to go out and play golf. I mean, is Alex really just a big time partier? No. But he's promoting this free, luxurious party lifestyle because he's getting people who would like to have that lifestyle to watch and follow him. So here's actually a video he's produced that promotes that lifestyle. And I want you to see if you feel like you want to travel to California and be like Alex after you watch a little bit of this.
Second it hits your lips. Happy New Year, mother. Happy New Year's 2020. The same me. Not much changed. Go, boys! Let's go!
Searching for lamplighter in.
Okay. You get the idea, right? Beaches, party life. I don't know. I mean, you can see is it appealing? Do you look at that and go, wow, that's cool. I'd like to be like that. Because that's the intention. You know, it's to make you want to be like and therefore to follow and watch. So how has this helped Alex? Well, one, this is what he does now. And two, I can tell you that he's in open negotiations right now between he and his agent for him to become the next Bachelor. And that's not a joke. So is it a done deal? No. but he's in negotiations to do that. I mean, that's he's building this image, and then his agent is helping him to market himself. So Alex Romo Golf is a brand that he's selling, right? He's not really 100% like that. I mean, Alex is a pretty down to earth guy, but do you see how he's created this thing that people would like to have? That's the power of social influence. So, your job, take a little quiz, see if you paid attention, and 2, think about this question. If I give you $500 to promote something, how are you going to do that? Okay? We'll see you tomorrow.